We've got our next round of FOC orders due next Sunday for DC and Lunar, and Monday for everybody else. So, let's go ahead and take a look at my top 6 FOC comic spec picks due next Monday, May 8th, 2023. Without further ado, let's get started. And kicking things off at number 6 is Star Wars Return of the Jedi Empire number 1. And this looks like it's going to be a book closer to the original trilogy time frame. So I think it's something that a lot of people might want to pick up. And it actually sounds interesting. It says, as operations begin to take shape on the moon of Endor, a technician was to figure out how to live under the control of the Empire. But if he can't stay out of trouble, what will the Empire do with him? Continuing the 40th anniversary celebration of Return of the Jedi, Jodie Houser and Jethro Morales pull back the curtain of the Empire like never before. So I think a lot of people who are interested in the OG trilogy, you might want to take a look at this. I know I definitely am. There's some other pretty cool covers, but I just wanted to show you cover A. And it's just, last on the list. More to let you know rather than spec, honestly. So, really, I guess it could be a top 5 list, but I wanted to put this on my list anyway. So, continuing on to number 5, we have Ultimate Invasion number 1. Now, this is the Christopher Negative Space variant, and it's just strictly just a cover by. It's a negative space variant. Anything really with Miles Morales is worth at least consideration for spec, so that's why it's at the bottom of the list, but still made the list at number 5. And again, this is the Ultimate Invasion number 1 Christopher Negative Space variant. It is an Ultimate Invasion number 1, so that could have key value in and of itself, but there's nothing in the solicitation or anything I've seen online that really leads me to believe that it could have key value any other way than just an awesome cover. So let's move on to number 4, and it's actually World Tree number 1 second printing, and this one is more of a long-term possible option spec, and that's because there are a lot of posts that I'm seeing out around the community right now of people absolutely loving this book. So even if you're, let's be honest, the second print probably isn't going to make what a first print would on the secondary market. However, if it gets optioned, you could at least double your money if you're interested in something like that. Now, it would take plenty of things get optioned and then dropped, or they get optioned and then there's no spec until the trailer hits, or like Ms. Marvel, there's no action, and then the trailer hits, there's still no action, and then it comes out, and then there's action. I bought a bunch of the books specking on Ms. Marvel for like $5, and then the trailer hit, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sell them. So I put them at like $5 auction, and I got a lot of bids, but they only sold for like $15-20. And then those same books are going for $75 once the show actually comes out, and that's honestly more rare because almost every time the show comes out, after the first series or episode or so, then everything starts to kind of drop down. But with Ms. Marvel, it didn't, so that's kind of interesting. But anyway, World Tree number 1 second print, people are loving it. Written by James Tynion, so you can't really go wrong there. And if nothing else, it's a few bucks and supposedly a really cool story. So I'm probably just going to pick it up for the story. But again, with it being so well liked, it could get optioned. Therefore, it has some spec value. And because it actually has that much value, that's why it's higher than the Spider-Man one, because that's just a cover. This one actually could have some long-term value, especially if it's optioned into something good. But that brings me up to my next one, which it's kind of sharing the number 4 spot right here, because it's just number 2 of World Tree. If that's something you're wanting to continue reading, I don't know that I would FOC maybe number 2, but when you're in the store or after you get number 1, If you're interested in number 2, you know that came out that week. So I kind of just shoehorned it into the second print of number 1 as far as Spec goes. So those are my number 4. And number 3, we have Groot, number 1. And this one actually has the first appearance of Ags, a monster that destroyed Groot's homeworld. And there was actually, I think, a cameo or something in the one that I guess probably came out this week. Did I say Groot number 1? It's Groot number 2. Groot number 1, I think, just came out, and it was alluding to something about AGZ or Ags. But anyway, it's actual first appearance in a Marvel book, so that's why it's higher than those other ones, but still the lowest. But the list, there's not that much coming out this week, so it's staying strong at number 3. And number 2, we have Deadpool, Batter Blood, number 1. And this one is the first appearance of Shatterstorm. Right here, it even says first appearance of Shatterstorm. But it also says Rob Liefeld returns to the Merc with a mouth and introduces new characters. Fan faves, including Shatterstorm. So they're just specifically stating Shatterstorm, but there could be other new characters. So this one might actually be worth it, simply because if there are multiple first appearances, you have a better shot of them hitting into any random show, movie, anything that the MCU or Disney Plus is going to be having going on. Especially with Deadpool making his way back, but I'm still waiting for Kill Puddle. I'm highly invested in Deadpool number 6, so I need Kill Puddle to come. And then those books might be actually worth something. But I wanted to show you what I have in my thumbnail, and it's Deadpool Batter Blood again, number 1, but it's the Scotty Young variant. This is one of his better variants, I think. So I just was checking to see if Batter was designed that way because of it being Scotty Young, but it's like that over here, so in case you're wondering what that just was. I think this is awesome. I think it's so cool. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and show this one. But there's my number 2, the Deadpool Batter Blood number 1. Probably get a cover A and a Scotty Young. I might get multiple cover A's. But anyways, let's move on to number 1. But before I reveal my number 1, I did want to ask you to please like, comment, subscribe. I am doing my 1K subscriber giveaway, and I do have my PayPal and my Venmo in the description of the video. If you want to support this channel, it would be greatly appreciated. But I wanted to throw that out now. That way, we could just do a quick outro at the end there. So let's go ahead, get to the number 1, and get you guys out of here. Star Wars number 35. And this one is the first actual appearance. I believe he had a cameo in the last book in number 34, but it is the first full appearance of Dr. Kuwata. And there's actually a 1 for 25 that shows the Doctor on the cover, and that was in the thumbnail of the video as well. So really, number 1 and number 2 were in the thumbnail of the video, and then like my very last one with that Spider-Man was on there. But usually you get those fancy covers in the thumbnail to get attention, but if the cover is the only Spec, unfortunately they end up at the end of the list. However, that Scotty Young was just tied to a book that has a lot of Spec in it, and then this one for 25 is tied to a book that has a first appearance, and it's Star Wars, so that's why the big bump on these. But yeah, so there's my number 1. It is Star Wars number 35. Alright everybody, that's going to go ahead and do it for me in this video. If you enjoyed it, which I hope you did, please like, comment, subscribe. I already went through everything, so I just want to thank you all for checking out this video. And if you wanted to check out some more videos, you can click the card here, and I'll do all of my spec for the whole month of May. Or you can get my right here. I'll do my spec for next Wednesday's new comic book day, May 10th. That way you got about a week to hit up your LCS, do some of your own research, and let them know. That way you can grab some of those books. I know a Star Wars book came out this week, and if you had seen my other videos previously, you would have known that there were some pretty big first appearances in there, and you could have either FOC'd it, because it was in that one. It was also in my spec video for the entire month of May, and then it was also in my video for the new comic book day that I recently released. So, thanks again for checking out this video, and until the next one, bye!